the top talents in the comic book business are here to tell everything they know.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Industry of Comics show. This time, a special broadcast over on the House of Stein YouTube channel. Just for our live viewers, everybody that's watching, in about 7 days, you'll be able to watch this on Beyond Wednesdays. So what does this mean, ladies and gentlemen? This means no more copyrighted music on Beyond Wednesdays. Unfortunately, we will no longer have the sweet smoke sessions with some sweet copyrighted music because we got a strike. So we're showing some love.
And it wasn't me. I know there's somebody in the chat that thinks I said something so controversial that we're exiled to here, but it wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, that's right. You can't. Can I say fuck on House of Stein?
Yes. Yeah. It's okay.
Okay.
To cuss.
Okay.
Yeah.
So fuck you if you thought it was me.
So back
Jesse,
to regularly scheduled programming next week. But don't worry, it's not going to cause us to stop the what a consistency, as we call it over here. Episode 89 of the Industry of Comics tonight.
No, episode 1.
Where where we will.
It's a reboot. It's a reboot. When shit gets too boring, we have to reboot it. Episode 1. First episode.
Episode 1, volume 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We also have a new Industry of Comics Facebook group. If you guys want to check that out, I guess you could just search Industry of Comics Facebook group, I imagine, and pop up.
Yep.
So we'll be, if you're a retailer or a comics industry vet, definitely join that group. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll be using that group to find guests, find cool topics, bringing on people that are knowledgeable in those topics. And
I hope the people that come in drop cool photos of shit they find, right?
Yeah, totally. So that'll be Eggplant Comics' legacy number 89.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah.
Now you're thinking, Eggplant.
Yeah. Well, this is a prime example of not just saying, "Oh, I got a strike, so I can't do a show." No, you pivot. So this is the pivot show, right?
Pivot show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I don't know if anybody's noticed. I just want to bring this up before we start the show. How many videos have you seen on the penny
A lot.
in the last couple weeks?
A lot.
And guess who did it first? We did.
Yeah.
We gave you the warning.
Yep.
Now I'm the penny king.
There you go. It all made sense, right? There you go.
Yeah, maybe the Treasury Department is the one that's after us.
I'm here all day, folks.
That's great. That's a great pun.
Tip your
There's
way,
nothing nerds like more than puns.
Yeah.
yeah.
Has there ever been a penny? Wasn't there a coin? Wasn't there the coin collector or something like that in DC back in the 70s? Where
Sounds familiar.
he used to shoot pennies and nickels and dimes out of his hand. I think it's called Coin Collector or Coin Dude or something like that.
That's a great question.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep.
All right. So what are we talking about tonight? We have a great topic for tonight that I think it kind of blew up a few years ago during the pandemic, I would say, and that is retailer LCS pricing. And we're not talking about MSRP pricing. We're talking about when retailers get, collections in, or they buy out a storage locker, or, something like that. And how do they price their items to sell to buyers? We'll get into that. We're also going to be talking a little bit. Black Friday is coming up, so that'll be an interesting little topic. And also comic shop first impressions, which is very interesting as well. But I want to start off with a little news of the week, because it seems like
You're not going to cover that, are you? Jesus Christ. What a shit show.
What's that?
What's that?
The diamond, the diamond push for the, you didn't see that? Oh, the courts have pushed the diamond bankruptcy to 2026.
Oh, wow. Really?
That broke this afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
you figured
wow.
next week is a wash. So that's
Sorry, I thought we weren't going to go start with diamond, and then I thought you were just immediately going into the diamond. So then I bring it up.
Court extends Diamond Comics Chapter 11 plan to 2026. Wow. That is ridiculous.
Oh wait, is that copyright? Is that copyrighted music?
I wish I was a lawyer in this case.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
You're sending your kids to college on this motherfucker.
Right.
Unreal.
Yeah, because every filing that is happening, that lawyer is getting money on. So when you file a motion, it's not like you walk up and say, "Hey, I'm filing a motion that dogs have to wear tutus on at every court date." That costs money to do that. It's not, nothing is free. So you have a filing fee. And then if the defendant or the plaintiff wants to counterfile, they have to pay a fee to counterfile. So it is like, you work the system and it's kind of like, wow, just the fees alone. And then just to check a box, you're paying a lawyer to check that box. So if you're an LLC, your lawyer, you cannot represent yourself. Your lawyer has to check those boxes. So not only are you paying the $160 filing fee, you're paying your lawyer $300 to file it. Right.
In which he doesn't even do any of the work. It's probably his legal secretary.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the person that gets their French fries and drinks, because it's a simple thing. File motion. In this case, moving it to 2026, you almost feel like the court is saying to the plaintiffs,
don't even try. Hey,
don't even try. We're going to extend this out to where you lose so much money that you just give up.
That's ridiculous.
It's just better to move on.
Yep.
God, that sucks. That's terrible.
Take your beating and head on.
Yep. Yeah, and what does that? I don't even know what that means. 2026, January, February, March. July.
Is it yours or Brian CG? Catch on the rewind. Stream is really bad tonight.
Oh yeah, I don't know. That's maybe just for Brian. I think everybody else is doing
I'm
fine.
watching it. It looks like
maybe
it's
restart.
Okay, so.
Yeah, we're over on the House of Stein tonight, you guys. So, so this is interesting. Here's another thing. Speaking of, the whole craziness with Diamond, one of the big problems that we kept talking about was the fact that, Dynamite is just getting screwed, and they are going to have a big problem, getting distribution. They eventually jumped on over to Lunar. But now there's word that Dynamite is signing with Universal, which is kind of interesting. What did you guys?
Now
I'll
have two comic companies to buy from there.
Yep.
Yeah. And again, thank you very much, Dennis, because I am up and running with Alliance as of last week.
It's what we do, brother. You don't have to buy my marketing firm or my any of that.
So it says
you just have to be a good guy, and I'll help you out.
Yeah.
With Dynamite Entertainment joining Universal's newly established U.S. comic distribution network, this collaboration will diversify Universal's title offerings and provide retailers with access to one of the most dynamic publishers in the industry, known for compelling stories, exciting crossovers, and collaborations with top-tier writers and artists. Dynamite brings incredible value to Universal and its retail customers. Retailers can begin placing orders soon for Dynamite titles scheduled to release in January of 2026. And then Angelo, the CEO of Universal Distribution, said, partnering with Dynamite Entertainment is a natural next step for Universal. We've built a strong relationship in Canada, and expanding that partnership into the U.S. market allows us to offer retailers even more variety and value as we grow our distribution network. Pretty interesting. So Nick had a little bit of something to say. He said, we're excited to work with Universal Distribution, not only in Canada, but also as they expand in the US. Universal has been a trusted partner in Canada for decades via our merchandising. I look forward to working with them on exciting plans in 2026. So there you go. Pretty interesting. We'll see how that plays out. Do you guys still think that Universal is going to end up taking over the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you think
Yeah.
so?
Okay, well, so I said it in April. I've said it throughout. They put the key components together of the people who know how to run comic book shops. The people they swiped from Diamond as the doors were shutting. And talking to the people, some of those people in San Diego and some of the people at New York Comic Con, they knew the key components to put the Diamond back together again. All the King's horses and all the King's men. Meanwhile, the other people who actually got Diamond, and I think we said it here on the show, with the right people, you can rebuild a Diamond. Okay? And they put together the people to help rebuild a Diamond. And the other people fired and shit on all the people they needed. I mean, it would have been real easy to just come in to Diamond and say, hey guys, come and pick up your stuff. Hey guys, we let's get this thing over as fast as possible and get you guys what little money you're going to get from this. But Sparkle Pop Cubic Zirconian decided to do it another way. And these guys are picking up those pieces, putting it back together, and trying to build something new.
The thing is that they've done this before the same way. They've been buying up companies. Sparkle Pop's been buying up companies. And they've done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Nobody gets shit. We take all the product and move forward.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's I think we need to get to February, March, see how those first shipments get here, get to us, and make that decision from there, and make sure that those old habits are gone. But I think what happens is you have an aggressive company working with Nick is technically an aggressive publisher, and that should help him. Well, we'll see. As more companies come over, that's where it kind of gets nutty. I think if Lunar and Penguin has been pretty good about keeping their list of sellers pretty low. Lunar just has way too many people, and they just can't manage it.
No.
And I think if Universal is very smart and just says, listen, we could pick up XYZ, but do we really need XYZ? I think that will be the important part.
We covered that early on too.
Yeah.
There's only so much Lunar could take on before they started having the same problems as Diamond was having.
Yeah.
And everybody talks about how difficult their ordering system is, and they've done nothing about it. Not one thing, not an update or push out an email. Is this, any polling? Hey, what is it you don't like? What is it you would like? Nothing. I'm sure they have a group of people that they approve as store owners to tell them, what they think it's like. But I've missed a lot of weeks, and I've had to buy them from Midtown at 35%, which that's what I'm getting on DC anyway. So fuck them.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I'm sitting back there with 300 damaged books I can't sell from Monster, right? Yeah. That they just will not replace or give a refund on. So those little things will cause us to pause and move on to the next up, and we'll see how that next person up works out.
Yep.
There was also this. Did you guys see this? British government helped Diamond UK do a deal after the bankruptcy. This is pretty interesting.
Yeah. $2 million was invested into Diamond UK. And I think that they have a great outlook there. And I think they're going to do very well. I think Berkshire was the person that invested So we expect a lot from Diamond UK, and it takes a lot of pressure off them, and I think they'll be very successful.
It wouldn't be an industry of comics show without me being slightly more pessimistic than my fellow retailers here. There is a long-standing tradition. If you break a comic buyer's habit, they are like a Pavlovian dog. Every time you break some part of the Pavlovian experience, you will lose people.
Yeah.
When a store closes down, 85% of the customers do not seek a new store.
Right.
This is a fact.
100%. And
No,
that goes with
no
so many
way. Where'd
collectibles.
you get that number from?
That was Diamonds.
That's 1975 thinking.
No, that's 2000. They did a retailer survey in 2000, and they actually addressed customer bases.
25 years ago. 25 years ago.
You think
85% of those customers go online and they buy from a retailer. They do not.
eBay was invented in 2000.
I'm talking about today. You're talking about today. Today, it's not 85%.
But that's not finding a new local comic book store. That's going
They don't
online.
have to find a new local comic book store.
I
There's
know,
local
that's the
comic
reason.
book
That's
stores
the
online
thing.
to buy.
Yeah,
But
that's what we're
it's
saying.
the experience that the major part of the people that come into my shop. It's about the experience.
Yes.
Yeah, and also,
anyways,
those
I'm just
shops,
saying that percentage isn't 85%.
If you're just going to an online retailer, you're not getting that experience that you're talking about. You're not getting that comic shop talk. You're not finding peers.
Yeah, you're not thumbing through a book. You're not getting the geek chat.
Yeah.
You're not. I mean, you do with live selling, Jesse. I will absolutely agree with that.
Yep.
But
yeah, that's like going to a comic shop.
Yeah.
Right? Your live
Well,
selling
it depends on who. I can tell you when I do my shows, you're shopping at my comic shop. You're shopping with me, and I'm giving you that experience. I'm giving you the comic book therapy. I know that I get what Dennis was saying. I'm just saying we're in a world where we have to pivot and understand a retailer, not Johnny in his bathroom selling candy canes. It's retailers that can come on and introduce yourself and introduce your store and get that person who doesn't have a store to go to, right? To say, well, now that's the store I get to go to. And I can follow them on Facebook and I can do XYZ. So I think the smart retailer, the three of us, the four of us know how to do that. And that would contradict that 85%. But on the flip end, there's a high percentage of people that are retailers that just sell books and don't understand you're not creating a customer for life. You're creating a customer just for a moment.
Yeah.
I feel I go up and down with my feelings on this. And I think more than ever, I feel like I think this is because of you guys and doing this show. I feel like the local comic shop is such an important thing to this hobby that you need, because this hobby is so much better when you have peers or friends that are also part of the hobby. If you're just doing it by yourself, it's not as cool as it is when you can get together with, like we do on this channel, or like you do in a comic shop, or hey, I'll meet you up at the comic shop. I used to do that all the time with Kyle. We after work be like, hey, I'm heading up to Jesse's. You want to meet me up there? Yeah, I'll meet you up there in like 30 minutes. All right, perfect. You can't do that with online retailers, and it is a bummer. And I'm not dogging online retailers for that. It's just the fact that you get so much more out of going into a brick and mortar shop in this hobby than you will ever just having an online retailer as your main buying source.
And a prime example is what we talked about at conventions, when you walk up and the guy's at the convention, but he's live streaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he just lost that customer who's standing in front of him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, look, Luke says, I exclusively buy books online now. It's been years since I walked into an LCS. Do you think, and I would love to ask, I'm going to ask this question. Do you think that your hobby experience is better or worse or the same, not having been into a comic shop in years? You know what I
The
mean?
other thing is what was his local comic shop like? Was
Yeah.
it a snobbery where they're like, "You're reading that? Well, you bought it and brought it in here. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You
let's
thought somebody would buy it, right?"
that's a perfect segue into the next topic, and that is comic shop first impressions.
Yeah.
You know, we
Well, I
have
just wanted to say that there are several different kinds of comic book stores before we go on here, Brian. And when I see a store like, is it Most Wanted Comics, the one down in
Corpus
Corpus
Christi.
Christi?
Christy, yeah.
That's a guy who's building community, like Jesse built, like I built, like Emmet builds. There's a stark difference between that and, let's just say, a bookstore that carries product. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
And
Yeah.
and at a certain time, pre-social media, pre all of that, Jesse, that 85% number was probably because we lost 75% of the comic community
Yep.
in a 5-year period of time.
Yeah.
And those buyers that were buying 1 million copies of Spawn Batman or Prophet #2 from Image, that community died and those customers died with it. So, but when you start building that community, and Luke hasn't answered yet, but I'm really interested.
Me too.
Where was that LCS? Did it close? Did it, I want to know what happened to the LCS that drove him to the online.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's got them all over the place. Oh, okay.
Says I'm
Go
in
check out-
London,
I don't know
so
how far-
limited LCS and mainly tourists versus locals. Convenience is important to me, and online is quick and easy.
Yeah. I don't know how close
Yeah.
you are to Chester, England, but a great little shop opened up there called Secret Identity. He's had some great signings there. He really loves comics. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
You might want to check him out. It's called Secret Identity Comics in Chester, England.
Right. Well, the one thing I want to bring up that kind of puts this in a nutshell is what are we doing right now? So
We're building a
saying,
community.
yeah, what we're doing is we're saying, oh my gosh, the customer has to have great experience. They have to be in the store. But then all of a sudden we figure out how to bring our store to that consumer. Yet the three of us who are retailers are doing a talk show right now.
Yeah.
Talking to consumers to say, hey, let us introduce you to our brands and our ideas and our thoughts and maybe you'll go to our Facebook page and join it. So we're still pivoting even when it comes to talking to the consumer. And I think that's part of what we're talking about. So that does get into the first impression point.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to say thanks to everybody that's joining us tonight over here. Special broadcast over on the House of Stein YouTube channel. 53 watching live right now. Thank you so much, you guys. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled Bat channel next week. We're doing something special over here with the House of Stein this week. So all Beyond Wednesday's programming will be over here this week. Shout out to the House of Stein crew.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk about comic shop first impressions. This is a perfect little spot for this because that's also a big deal. Sometimes when you go there's people I know that one of the things that they love doing is taking trips across the country, finding all kinds of cool new comic shops, checking out new comic shops.
Stein is one of the best to do it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Stein kills it on that. As a matter of fact, he might be out doing that right now.
Yeah.
So this is a very interesting topic, and that is comic shop first impressions. The first time you walk into a comic shop, how that fixes or how that changes your buying experience, how you buy, what you buy. And we have three guys here who all have brick and mortars, two of which have opened recently new stores. And it's kind of interesting how they set up their comic book stores. Has your guys' setup changed? And Emmet, I'm going to leave you out on this one because I don't know if you've changed
Sure.
your setup in years. But for Dennis and Jesse, who have opened new comic book stores, has your setup changed in the past couple of years based on how you set everything up in your store? Or is it just, is it the same? You know, this is how I do it. Explain to us like the reasoning and how you guys set up your store as new store owners.
You go on, Dennis, or you want me to go first?
No, you go first.
Okay, so I'm gonna reverse that question. I don't think the stores have changed. I think the customers have changed. I think their buying habits are different. We are now looking at a consumer like in my store, where Dennis has the old school hippie record store and collectibles, where I'm that new progressive boutique store, right? So we're kind of the same, but just named different. Where my customers, I'm dealing with a high percentage of women customers, and the high 60% are women customers in my store with extreme walkthrough traffic.
Yeah, I would love that. They spend so well.
Yeah, they spend so well, but what they also do is they are very accessorized. So, hey, do you have any turtles? Yes, I do have some turtles. Awesome. I need some. I'll take a shirt. I'll take a hat. I'll take a toy. I'll take a pop.
Yeah.
Oh, we have comics too. Oh, okay. I'll take some comics. Right. So they're accessorizing their purchase. Now, I'm not going to say all of them do, but a good portion they do that. Our consumer, who when they come in and they say, oh my gosh, I can only make it to the store, once a week or once every 2 weeks. Hey, we do 4 live shows a week. We have buy online, pick up at store. So join us there as well. So we're able to pivot our customers and say, well, if you can't make it, we can still sell to you. So I think when you look at the setup of a store in my situation, where I'm dealing with a new customer base, trying to reintroduce a brand, it doesn't matter. I've done this 43 years. The person that walks in, we have a 1-second relationship. My job is to build that relationship and kind of let them roam the store before I tell them about the store and see what their patterns are, right? What they're touching, what they're stopping at, what they're looking at. So I would say a consumer nowadays isn't one-dimensional. They're multi-dimensional, and they're also, I think when I look at the old store and I said, man, a kid walks in for a Pokemon and we're selling them some Pokemon packs. Where here we're selling them, we're selling them comic books, we're selling them books, we're selling them plushies, we're selling them pops, and then some cards. And I think that's the difference that I'm seeing, this huge pattern of consumers, their average sale going up and their sales per units actually go up as well.
Dennis?
Emmett, do you want to take it? Because I'm going to go long.
Okay. Well, my store changes all the time. Whenever I want to add something or take something out, I'm always changing it. I'm also re-merchandising all the time because it looks fresh when people come in. If they haven't been in a while and when they come in, it looks exactly the same. It's not good for retail. You have to wow them a little bit. That's basically what I do. I have a lot of plans when I open a second store. If it gets there, we'll see. But yeah, one of the things is I wouldn't have 2 entrances that I have now. I would have all the Pokemon in the back of the store, all the magic in the back of the store, where they have to go all the way through the store. Yeah, a lot of different things like that. The psychology of retail, stuff that's worked for 100 years. It works because it works. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
My point, more to Brian's point, and then a contrary to Jesse's point. And it's why I started asking that question 87 episodes ago. What is a comic store? I think we've proven that a comic store is one that caters to the comic book customer and everything else that they might be into. And as Emmet pivots to more Magic and Pokemon, and as Jesse starts adding socks and other things to that mix, it doesn't change the fact that it is a comic store, whether it has just new books that are available from Diamond or it has all range of comic books from the Golden Age to whatever gets brought in this week for me. How the layout has changed? Yeah, I originally thought, even with the new idea, the new concept, I originally thought, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that because of this, and that because of that. As I opened the second store where I catered to a different genre just to try to apply those principles, I realized pretty easily everyone has the place. Once they've been your customer once and they come back, they go straight to that zone that they want. So that's why I laid out the third store exactly to cater to that customer, which I just basically created. And like I told Three Rivers, and I'll segue this into my PSA hit on this. I have comics on this wall. I have physical media right across from it: records, cassettes, CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, etc. Other side of that, anime and manga. It's all one aisle. Everything that person could want is right there. Across from that is Pokemon, Magic, and miscellaneous. On the other side of that, video games. On the other side of that, toys. Just toys and Legos and all that genre. And I watched the customers come into that new store. And the second they establish that habit, they only want to go to the comic area. They might wander around, but they don't stop and mill if they're just there to buy comics. I do see people come up with a comic and a Funko. Well, that's all on that. The Funkos are over on that comic wall because I think that habit has kind of merged together. Yeah. When I see physical media people, they're only into music and physical media and DVDs. They don't wander to the rest of the store. I think, and this is kind of contrary to what you're thinking, Emmet, make them go through the store to get to the back. And hopefully it's the milk in the back of the store model from grocery stores. I just think the new customer, the standard new customer is pinpointed in what they want, and they're not dissuaded that much by weird stuff that they didn't come in with that agenda. It's the mall rats philosophy. I hate somebody without a shopping agenda. They have a shopping agenda when they come into our stores. And I think for me, it's catering to that shopping agenda now. I used to think just like Emmet. I'm going to put the new books on the back wall. I'm going to make them come through. I'm going to make them walk past the trade paperbacks. I see GameStop. GameStop kind of does that thinking. You know what I'm saying? Where they lay it out to make you kind of come through, and filter the rest of the way out. I've just changed so many of my retail philosophies in the last 10 years, in the last 3 years, that it's kind of just that pivot and that pivot mentality. And every one of the stores, I've actually taken the employees from Toledo up to the other two stores just to let them, and as much as I love the Toledo store, two of the employees think that the stores that I'm in Monroe are better than the store that they run in Toledo that's doing twice as much business, because they see something else that I can't see. And to me, that just proves that it's kind of, I'm achieving Master Lee's level of no form. I don't think I have a form anymore because I think I've opened my form up. And then it turns out I had form that hits on different levels to different people.
So let me ask you, do you have a Star Wars section?
Nope.
No.
In fact, actually, I have Star Wars Legos scattered throughout the Legos. I have Star Wars figures scattered throughout the figures. I'll have Star Wars, Marvel.
That's like going to the back of. That's like going to the back of the store. When you have to hunt and search, that's like going to the back of the store because they might see something else.
No,
well,
I understand what Emmett's saying. Totally.
No, I understand what Emmett's saying. For me, I treat all the product as just product.
Yeah, but our job is not to sell them what they came for. It's to sell them something else.
And they have an entire wall. And if they came for toys, believe it or not, I've seen people come in and ask about one thing, and then they completely buy another thing.
Something else, yeah.
And so that's them discovering, because I didn't just treat all the Star Wars as this little niche. and I have one little Star Wars section. They came in, look, I can't even remember what it was they were looking for. But you know, it's over here on this wall, and then they look on that wall, and then all of a sudden they discover something completely different. It's like every time I go into a store and they have a Marvel section, a DC section, and an indie section, and I'm like, I know 75, 60, 50, at least 50% of their customers only go to that Marvel section if they're only into Marvel. Yeah. But if the Avengers is next to I can't think of another. Action Comics, and something spectacular is happening in Action, I think they'll check out Action. You know, it's my argument with Nikki. Green Lantern and Green Hornet next to each other is a great crossover, because I think people buy a Green Lantern comic that came in for DC, and then they see that, oh wow, there's a female Kato and it's written by Kevin Smith. Oh, maybe I'll check that out. Although I'm not giving Nikki 4 fucking spots and 20 variants for each one.
Right. Yeah, I think it really depends on how you are the general in your store and how you allow your team members sell. You know, it's like when someone walks into the store and we say, how you doing? Let us know if we can help you find anything. And they say, yeah, okay. And then we just say, yes, sure. And the second we see something, or they might have a question, we're leaving that counter and approaching them and saying, all right, let me help you with that. Or if someone says, hey, where's Spider-Man? Oh, that's in the symbiote area. Let me show you where that is, right? Instead of just saying, oh, it's over there, right? So I think it's how you invite people to your home and they feel that they can ask any question and actually get personal help versus, oh yeah, that's on the other side of the store. And I think that's how some, especially the younger customers who don't understand direction at all.
Right.
Yeah.
They watch a movie, they watch Iron Man, they walk in, where's your Iron Man stuff? And they don't know how to react in a comic book store.
Yeah.
You know, how many people say it's first time in a comic book store? Well, you've probably been in comic book stores before with your parents and just never paid attention to it.
Well, let me tell you about I want to tell you a quick story about somebody who was there on Saturday. So young lady came in and she said, what do you have? It's One Piece. And the girl behind the counter, that was her second day. Okay. And she's just kind of like, I'm not, and I'm like, okay, I got to step in. And also I got to explain to her the don't be afraid to pass it off to somebody else rule of my employees. And so I'm like, what are you looking for? And she's like, my son loves One Piece. I don't know anything about it. That's all he talks about is One Piece, One Piece. And I'm like, well, okay, so here's where we're going to start. We got One Piece anime here. We got One Piece manga here. We got the One Piece card game over here. I've got these really awesome marine hats that were closeout at Hot or Box Lunch that I got really dirt cheap, and I have them super cheap as well, but not as cheap as I bought them out. And she's like, what is any of this? I don't even understand. I go, look, let me explain. A couple years ago, I had no clue, just like you. And my kids made me watch the One Piece live action on Netflix. And we really kind of bonded over that. And now I understand it. Do you have Netflix? And she's like, yeah. I go, can I just speak to you as one parent to another? Sit down and watch an episode of the One Piece live action with your son. You will absolutely enjoy it, and you'll understand why he loves this so much. And she was just like, really? Okay, perfect. And you know, that was me connecting with her as a parent, as somebody who knows almost as little as she does about One Piece, because my kids will still be like, hey, this character. And I'm like, is that the character that does it? No, Dad, that's that character who did that thing. What are you talking about? Oh my God, you're an idiot. You know, but I was able to be just as much of an idiot as she was and explain to her, you know, what I thought she could get for him. And at 10 years old, it's really a blank slate, because he probably doesn't have anything. And
Yeah.
she ended up spending $20.
Yeah, exactly. I think our greatest asset we have is the ability to say, you know, I really don't know about that, but let me grab my phone and let's find out together. And you're just like you did there, you're connecting with that consumer. Again, our job is to give great comic book therapy or collectible therapy, but also understand how it is on their side of the aisle
Yeah.
and not knowing enough and not being Mr. Smart, right, on every single thing. Oh, how could you not know that?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
how could you not know every Scooby-Doo character was a teacher or a janitor? You know,
The other thing, if I'm not going to make a sale, I want to make a buy. So I get a lot of foot traffic from the local downtown, and people will come in and they're like, they make that face, and then I'll be like, yeah, if you might have some of this stuff in your attic or in your basement. If you're not interested in buying, maybe you're interested in selling.
yeah,
And then they're like, oh, like I don't have to buy anything here. There's no pressure. I can
Well,
just enjoy.
you're turning a. So I always, and maybe the chat and you guys can help me with this because this is kind of a dilemma. All my employees say, "Hey, I have a customer here that wants to sell you something," and afterwards, I always correct them. I go, "Well, a customer isn't somebody who's selling you something. A customer is somebody who's buying something." Okay, but you, like myself, and I'm sure Jesse, take a non-customer who was coming in to shop but isn't really they're coming in to look but they're not necessarily there to shop, but you
Right.
can turn that person into a seller or somebody to source from, which is just as good in all three of our books.
Yep.
I'm sure, right, Jesse?
yep,
Turning a non-customer into a seller.
yep,
And that we have to cultivate all of those. And just like you were talking about in the pre-show, Emmett, the guy who was a customer of one of your competitors, and he went to the competitor and didn't sell it, and then he went to you and you bought it.
Yeah.
And I think we as retailers owe it to our former customers to at least make an offer of some sort,
right,
somebody who gave you all the money at retail
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
they're ready to sell it to you, just to kind of complete that circle.
100%.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
Right now, I would say we're probably running 75% trade, 25% buy, and the reason for that is there's a key word that consumers, your customer base, always say: "I'd love to buy this, but I don't have any room." Well, you know how you can get some room? Why don't you bring in some stuff? You have some stuff at home that you might want to trade, and your trade value on
Oh,
something
man.
that we have is a
Oh,
blessing
yeah.
for us, right? Because we're
Oh,
not
yeah.
paying out dollars, and
Yep.
our margins are. I probably shouldn't even be saying this to the public, but we're trading uh, uh, zero margins to trade in for something that we already have low margins on.
well, hold on,
Right.
because this gets into our next topic, and this is a great topic that I know a lot of.
Segue time?
Yeah, it is. I want to ask before we get into how you price your items. Let's talk about that trade value because that was always a thing as a kid growing up, going to card stores all the time, and they would give me 50% a book, trade value. What do you guys give on trade value? Do you guys give a percentage of?
Percentage.
Okay, and what is that percentage you guys give of fair market value?
I do 50.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dennis, 50.
Almost all of the time, I consider it a 2-for-1 inventory swap at 50%. However, I will adjust that to if it's something that I know I'm never going to sell. It is literally dog crap. I make my piles the good, the bad, the ugly. Okay. So there's the good pile. I'll always give you 50 cents on the dollar every day in trade for the good pile. The bad pile, if it's like games, I might have to resurface them. That's labor cost. I'm going to give you like 33 cents on the dollar in trade for that. And the ugly, I might only give you 20 cents on the dollar in trade.
Yeah.
And then for me, cash is always a minimum of 50% of those numbers.
I'm gonna have to
You mean
go.
so you
I
mean
will be right
25%?
back.
Yeah, so like if it's the good pile, it's 25% in cash. So if it's a $10 item, I'll
Oh,
give you
wow.
5 in trade.
I give 40.
Really? Okay, well,
Yeah.
you're a generous man.
Yeah.
I got a lot of shit to
Oh,
bring you, just like I'm going to take to GameStop.
listen, there's a lot of New York shops that give, especially in Magic, up to 75, 80%.
Yeah, and the thing is here's my thought on that, and I get it all the time. Sure, if you've got a Hulk 181 and that's the only thing you're selling me, we can talk
Yeah.
75, 80 cents on the dollar. But if you're bringing me Hulk 183,
Yeah.
okay, we're not anywhere near that.
So I won't buy a single book. You could bring me
No,
181 and I won't buy it.
I'll buy anything I think I can sell.
No, it's just it's just the way I've built the business. I only buy collections.
Ken on base says Jesse just grabbed a baseball bat and bounced. Is
Yeah.
he okay? Yeah, he just didn't want to have to explain how much he spends on his trade-in value. He didn't want to have to say he only gives 30%. So
You know what? We might not be wrong. That we've seen what happens when he's doing the show and that back door starts jiggling.
yeah.
We may have to go to Florida and help bury a body, Emmet. Let's be ready.
I'm on
for
my
that.
way. I'm on my way. I got my shovel.
Yeah.
All right, so let's continue this talk with pricing. Now, over
But what do you
the
think,
years-
Brian? As a guy, no, let's go the other direction. As a guy on the other side of the table for most of your career, what do you think a fair price for a store to offer you is?
I think if they give me 60%, I'm good. I think 60% I'm good. And it depends. Like I understand where you're saying, like if it's just direct, if it's just like, filler books, I understand them giving me like 30% value on that stuff. But I always want more than 50% on something decent. You know what I mean? Like,
But wouldn't you say I'm talking about before you were a reseller, and you've been a reseller for quite some time. I mean, when you did the old spec days and all of that, I mean, you were really just a flipper to some extent.
yeah.
I'm talking about young Bryan McClay, who used to have money to buy packs of cards, and that was if you pulled a 1990 Ken Griffey Jr. Second year card from a pack of, Upper Deck, and you took that to that local card store that Bryan McClay used to buy his packs from, and they offered you 50 cents on the dollar of what they were going to sell it for, that would be pretty fair back then.
I
correct?
would always see. That's where I get my 60%. So back then, if I pull the hot card, I would want an extra 10% of what they offered, and usually it was 50%. And I would say, hey, give me 60, and I'm good. If it's a super hot card that they're looking for, that people are coming at, I'm going to try and get that extra 10%.
And that's why you became who you became, Brian, because you actually wanted more for yours.
Yes.
Emmet, tell me I'm wrong. 75% of the people that come in and sell to us, they are not a haggler when it comes to
They don't
that
haggle,
offer.
and believe it or not, at 40%, they're dancing a jig 90% of the time. There's 10% of the time when they bought the whole collection.
Yes.
And they know what it costs and they know what it's worth.
But at the point at which they come through that door,
They need to sell it.
They need to sell it. I'll give you a story tonight. Just tonight, while we were introing, I got a message. Couple days, probably about a week ago, I saw somebody had a manga collection in the area on Facebook Marketplace. I said, how many books you got? He told me how many books. And I did the math, and I was like, it's like $3 a book. I got to be at $2 a book or I can't do this collection. And I said, well, let me know if you can do 300. And he just messaged me back, hey, I need the cash. I'll take the 300. Can you pick it up tomorrow?
Yeah.
But it's about being fair with your offer and not being a dick too, a lot of times.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. My LCS card owner was a freaking asshole, man. We used to go in there and just fuck with him because he was such a dickhead that it was like, okay, what can we do to make Chad kick us out of the store today? You know, and we went to school with his kids, so like there was that. So it was like, you know, let's ride up to the baseball card shop and fuck with Chad today, you know, that type of thing. And so, but you're totally right. If you have respect and you like the person you're dealing with, there's something different to be said about that. That's a big deal, a real big deal, especially if you're like, for instance, Jesse. I never traded anything to Jesse, but there is this thing where, you know, I would go in, he would get a collection, and I would pull out my stack of books that he want, and he would, you know, go through them and say, okay, these are the $2 books, these are $5 books, these are $10 books, and you know, I would say, okay, I like that, I'll give you this for that, and you know, it was able to work with it. But the way that he does that, where he go, okay, I'm going to stack these in $2, $5, and $10 piles, you know, that type of thing, and then anything over here we talk about on their own. That works for me, and I like the
That's
guy.
the good, bad, and the ugly. He's doing the good, bad, and
what
ugly.
I do.
Totally.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do.
Yeah, and that
you know,
works with me.
And here's a perfect example too. And Emmett, I know you've told us multiple times that sale isn't the only buy that you're going to get from that person, that seller. That you're creating that relationship with that. If you screw them over and don't even give them a tuba loop, then you're going to miss out on something else down the line. And I'll give you the perfect example. And I remember telling you guys about it, that there was an old folks home in our town, and people donate stuff to the library. And they were like, look, this is stuff that got donated to the library, and none of the residents wanted to check it out or buy it or, you know, put, you know, whatever. And I'm flipping through it, and I'm just like B-52s vinyls, you know, just Talking Heads vinyl, you know, just avant-garde 80s and 90s vinyl that you can think of is in this collection. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no, these people don't want this. But if I give them a number, so I played the Post-it note game with them, which is one of my favorite games to do. And I got up to like, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give them 500 for all these vinyls. And I put 500, and their Post-it note was 100. And that's how little they valued what I think was one of the best vinyl collections that I've gotten in that store. And they come in about every 2 or 3 months. And today they just brought me a giant stack of coffee table books of like The Art of Frazetta, the Life of Stan Winston, the movie Monsters book with the Werewolf of London on the front with a foreword by Rick Baker. You know, just all these awesome coffee table books that are all going to be $20 a pop, easily. And they were like, we put these on Facebook Marketplace, and we could never really get anyone to come and pick them up. If you can give us around $5 a piece, they're all yours. And I was like, done. Because guess what? There's still the librarians at the old folks home. There's still old folks that are going to donate a CD collection, a cassette collection, a DVD collection, something. They're going to keep coming back because I always give them a fair price.
Okay, so this moves on to the next part. Let's talk about how you price these items that you get in. I know Jesse, for the longest time, and he's not here to talk about this, for the longest time, Jesse would just use Key Collector and would go to Key Collector app, would check out what the prices are on Key Collector app, and that's what he would use. A lot of people use eBay. A lot of people just use Experience. And before you guys answer, I want to bring this up. Over the years, one of the biggest hot button topics was the fact that LCS owners were not pricing their books beforehand, and they would price them when you would bring them to the checkout. And a perfect example of this are these two posts. This is from back during the COVID days. This was a big famous topic back on Flipside back in the day, and this sign that was put up on in this shop, it says, "Due to the nature of the speculators market, we reserve the right to check and reprice any and all back issues according to the current going value." Another shop put this up. "We reserve the right to adjust back issue prices at the register that have experienced price spikes of 100% or more of the marked price." And this was such a big deal that people would refuse to go into these comic shops anymore. We would get people saying, "Hey, this comic shop's doing this," and we would talk about it on Flipside. "Hey, if you this is a comic shop that's pricing at the register," and here was always the answer: if I wanted to pay eBay prices, I'd go on fucking
To
eBay.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
my thought process on this has changed over the time period as well. You know, being just a flipper and a person that was my deal. You know, that's how Flipside started back in the day. Hey, these are the books you can go to your LCS, you can buy them for cheap $2-3 and flip them for $20-30. Okay, that was a reason for a lot of people to get into this hobby. Now that we have live selling things, I am the seller now, and when I price my stuff as a seller on eBay Live or whatnot, I'll go look at eBay sales, cover price sales, key collector sales, and I'll start it at 50% to 60% of that, depending on what it is. If it's a super hot book or a super hot, you know, artist or something, maybe I'll start it at 30% off the going rate.
Because
But
there'll be a lot more people.
yeah, and
then you'll get a bidding war.
you got
But
it.
if it's something a little cooler, but still a really good book, you have to start it higher because there may
Yes,
only be one person that wants it.
you got it.
See,
Now,
well, I mean, not that I disagree with that though, Emmett. There's one factor that I don't think any of those jackasses that you showed pictures of understand. There's not one book that you have in your inventory that you have priced that you did not pay less than that cover price for.
Right.
Okay. So I all the time, and I give my employees Key Collector, tell them to download it. The second I'm having them price comics, Key Collector has saved my business because before it was up to me. Dennis, here's a stack of books. Can you price this? Here goes the next 3 hours of my life doing something that you people can't do. And now people who have no idea what a comic is can price this stuff off a Key Collector. They can give me a spread. I then look at the books that they suggested price. I go, these are all $5 books. You know what? This was a hot book for a while. Maybe it's slowed down a little bit, but I still think we can get 10 for this. Move it to the $10 pile. This is, wow, that book's 100? We just had an Archie today that tagged up at 100. They're in bikinis.
Yep.
Don't ask.
It's every hot selling Archie book is all bikini covers.
So my employees have a tool to be almost as good as me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that every one of these, then I'll go one step further. And I'll just say it because it's the only person I can think of. And then I'm going to bring it back to you, Brian. If Nico comes into your store and flips through your dollar bins and finds a stack of 100, just go, clearly this guy knows way more than me. Mm-hmm. And I'm too lazy to learn what he learned. So make that guy an offer to help dig through those 100, 500, 800 boxes that you have in the back. Go, I'll hook you up with, if you find 10 of it and you want 1 or 2 of them, perfect. It's what I call the everlasting gobstopper. I can limit anybody to 1 book because that's fine. You know what? You find 5 of these, you know what? I'll let you have 1 at $1, but these 4 are going to go, everlasting gobstopper. But I just had a young lady, 22 years old. And my employee in Toledo, I was in Monroe, my employee in Toledo is like, hey, there's a customer here and she wants to know if you'll do $250 on the ASM 300. And I have a rule. I'm never selling an ASM 300 for less than 300.
Oh yeah.
I just said, nope, I'm sorry, 300 is as low as we can go. Then she was like, oh, I gotta pause this. Jesse, what happened?
So
I'll be right back.
I don't know what's it called. What's it called where the kids do the car thing?
Oh,
the spinaroo?
yeah, donuts.
Yeah, donuts. So they just happened to all park in front of my store all at once. Right. And say all jump up. And I'm like, I'm freaking getting raided right now. They can't see I'm in the store.
They were doing a smash. You thought they were going to do a smash and grab?
Yeah. Yeah. So I walked up, I had the bat, and none of them were even paying attention. I'm like, okay, fine. And the next thing I know, they pull out their cameras and 3 guys jump in their car and they just start doing the spinaroo. So
Jesse, you brought a bat to a car fight.
yeah, I know. I had some throwing star. I had my throwing stars with me, so I was ready to go. So, yeah.
Okay, let me finish this story though.
Okay.
So, she saw I had an Invincible 75 that I pulled for a friend, and I had it priced at 75 because that was the raw high.
Right.
And she asked if she could have it for 40. I'm like, let me look this up. Maybe I'm out of left field. Maybe the Invincible market got softer in the 70s. Nope, the last 2 have sold for $65 raw. I'm like, no, she can have it for 65, but we're hard at 65. And then I thought, wait a second, and he just said, she's asking if we'll do 75. And then I was like, can you get her number and see if she's interested in a job? Because she's definitely a mountain lion looking for prey. Okay, to go from ASM 300 to Invincible 75. Turns out her and her boyfriend sell on Whatnot. She's looking to buy, but then I brought her in and said, hey, you interested in posting to eBay? You interested in having access to all the stuff that we have here? As I brought out the box with the Mark Jewelers 181 in it and asked her if she wanted to flip through it. And yeah, she grabbed at it, and now she's working for me. And that's what these fossils who put those stupid fucking signs up don't understand.
Right.
The people who are taking advantage of you are smarter than you. You can either piss them all off or you can make them part of your tribe.
Right. So here's the funny part. Number one, who has a divider for ringside? That's the first thing. And Rise. There's a couple things there. That store, which is in Tallahassee. So they had their sign, and what I did was I grabbed about 125 books, the worst books possible. And I walked up to the counter and I go, I can't believe you have all these books in your, and they say they're only $2. And he goes, well, we have to look all these up. I'm like, okay, I'll be right back. And I walked right out the door, never came back. He probably priced 125 bucks and said, these are only $1 each. F that store. I've done so many op-eds on that store, and I just, why are you being lazy? I just don't get that lazy mentality of just check your boxes every once in a while. I mean, it's not too hard, but or read. Turn on Key Collector.
Watching the shows. Yeah, exactly. Now, I don't have the sign, but I don't have my books priced.
Yeah.
But everybody knows that they are $2 to $4 in the back bins. If you find something, a home run, great, because you'll be back next week to look for another home run.
And guess what? You don't have more than $1 into any one of those $2 to $4 books. That's what these people lose sight of.
Yep.
If you've got stuff priced that you don't have a profit baked into, then you're the problem.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. The worst line I ever heard from a store in Arizona was I walked in and a guy walked up and he said, hey, you got that for $300. I got cash. I'll give you $280 right now. And the guy goes, no, I can't go down in price. And so he left and I said, man, you must really be into that book.
Oh,
and he's like, well, it doesn't matter. I would lose $20. I go, no, you would have made $279.79 on that book.
Yeah.
And they forget that, oh my gosh, I paid $1 or 50 cents or 20s, and they think they're losing money. And so
I'm
But-
I don't know.
20% below eBay on my wall.
Yeah.
Let's bring it all
Because
the way
eBay
back
costs
around
me
though, to
20%
Brian's
plus
question.
shipping and all
Yeah.
that work.
Let's bring it all the way around to Brian's question. What do you pay? If you pay 50 cents on the dollar in trade, then you're just trading something that you have for two things you don't have.
Yeah.
And then whatever you had into that thing is, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Is your profit either way. And then you still have two things that you have a profit baked into.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and if you pay like me 25 cents or Emmet 40 cents for cash, you've got your profit baked into that. And as long as your employees are using something reliable like Key Collector, you're not only going to make that profit, but you're going to make that profit.
Yeah.
And then maybe that profit.
Yeah.
Here's
The-
And
the
whatever
whole-
price you put on that is a profit.
Well,
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
that
the
is
whole
also
job is you have to
interesting.
move books. We're not a museum. And at the end of the day, anybody that thinks when we buy a collection that 100% of that collection is sellable, we're talking about 80 to 85% of that is dreck. We know right off the bat, 85% of a collection, I'm talking about a collection, not, $20. 85% of that is going into the back with all the same image books and all the same Valiant books from the 90s.
Yep.
I'm sorry, that's going in with all the action books and all the Superman books. Why? Because we can't sell it, and then we'll sell those at bulk. So you're really, when you're buying 1,000-piece collection off the street, you might have a good 75 to 80 books you're selling out of that collection.
Yeah.
And so when you're buying, you need to think of stocking fees. Okay, what is my fee to put 10 boxes in the back? Right? Do I have that customer that will go through and I can say, hey, no matter what's in those 10 boxes, they're $1 each. Yeah, but he ain't walking out with 10 boxes. He's going to walk out with 36 books.
There's an entire ecosystem. It costs 15 cents per bag and board now to bag and board it. It costs whatever your employee speed is per hour to put those books in the bag and board.
And the
I put a 3-cent price sticker on every comic book. My little branded, price stickers. That is a lot of money. I put close to 20, 25 cents into every comic that I put on my wall. Okay, that's why I'm $2, 3 for $5, $5, 3 for 12, whatever. But there's always a profit baked in. You have to make sure you're putting the profit into it. And that's one of the problems with new books, why I'm so glad I'm free of it. You got 50 cents on the dollar. If you get it from Penguin, it's free shipping. If you get it from Lunar, is Lunar free shipping or is it?
No.
So
It's
then
usually
now,
free shipping.
guess what? Shipping just cost you a little of your profit.
Yep.
If you want to bag and board all those to put them out on your wall so they don't get finger fucked, there's a little bit less profit. If you,
I lose money on every DC book for this whole year.
Yeah. But that's something that's baked in that we lose. And then if they use their credit card, there's another 2.5%, 3%.
Yeah.
3%.
Are
yeah.
you seeing
1.8 now?
Are you seeing that they are trying to eliminate us from swiping cards now? That's the new thing.
Yeah.
And come January, they are charging 1 extra % now if you don't tap a card. That's every
Wow.
credit card company.
Wow.
Because the cost for a swipe versus a tap has finally caught up.
Well,
so-
no, but there's a lot of scammers out there, and I've been watching a lot of videos on it. The tap has an extra level of encryption that the chip in the thing that was required 5 years ago,
Right.
or 7 years ago, and the swipe. What is it? Is Emmet getting broken into now?
Yeah, I know. I didn't see him grab
Yeah.
a bat.
And then
He
the
grabbed-
swipe is one level less than both of those. So they're
Yeah.
trying to eliminate that swipe
Yeah, there you go.
to
Yeah,
force
I knew it was
everybody to
something,
that
yeah.
extra level of encryption, because the scammers have figured out how to program that swipe strip.
Yeah.
They're reprogramming that swipe strip, and with the what are the card the skimmers.
Yeah,
That-
skimmers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're getting that number out of that raw data and they're selling it, and then people are putting it on those, but you can't forge the chip. And the chip with the extra level of encryption for tapping is an extra level of encryption that they cannot break. And so they're trying to force this problem into a higher level. I don't care. If the scammers have raised the bar, you have to be able to jump over it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. I just thought it was very, very interesting.
Yeah, I'll just
at
put a
the end
piece of
the-
tape over the little swipe piece.
Yeah.
That's it.
back to the thing about pricing and comic shops and selling to people and flippers and this and that. Jesse knows the story. I've told him this, and I've talked about this on shows. One of the stores that I used to go to all the time, me and my buddy, back when I first got back into flipping books, me and my buddy Kyle started our own little eBay business where we kind of banded together and we said, hey, let's go buy books and flip them on eBay and we'll split the profit, type deal, just like as a little hobby. And so we would go to stores and we would put our money together and we would buy books. Well, one of the big stores that we used to go to, they had a back room that was full of all their diamond back stock, right? And they said, "Hey, we need to get rid of that. Let's do a sale, and we'll say any books in the back room are $1 a piece." So we went in there, and they had the diamond. They were, bags of, I don't know, what are they, like 20 books in a bag? They used to do
25.
and there would just be 25 books, 25 books, 25 books. So we went in there and we would find books that were selling for $10 a piece, and we would buy them for $1 a piece. And I remember specifically one of the books, he had bags of 25 were the Deadpool Abbey Road zombie variants where,
Nice.
and so me and Kyle grabbed two of the 25 stacks, right? We took them up front and the guy goes, "Yeah, I'm not going to sell these to you." And we're like, "Huh?" And we go, "You're having a sale. We're buying them. They're yeah, but I know you guys are flippers. So I'd rather sell them to real customers than somebody who's just going to flip them." And guess what, you guys? That was a store where we spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month on a regular basis in this store. I had a box with them, everything. As soon as he said that, I never spent a single penny at that store again. Not a single fucking penny. I would not go in there. Nothing. It took, and it turned into this conversation where, what do you care what we do with the book after we buy it from you? And that is a big deal because I've heard this story from a lot of other people out there that, store owners care what you do with the book afterwards. Now, what I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Do you guys care if a flipper is buying a book from you at all?
No.
The
I don't
only-
I don't make them over welcome. I don't give them big deals. But if I have stuff out for $1 a piece, like I have a sale, whatever you get, you get. Like, that's my fault.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do with the book, but if you're coming in and pulling every key in the whole place and bringing them up to the front, leave some for the other people.
Yeah, that's where I think you went wrong.
Yeah, I think I always tell people and I know for decades I've done this, that is awesome. That's great. When you flip that, make sure you tell people where you got that book from.
But I never,
They
we
never
never
do.
told him that we were flippers. He found out somehow that we were flippers. So that's the other
Because
thing.
You're buying 25 copies of the same Deadpool book.
Well, maybe it's Christmas time. Maybe it's Thanksgiving.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But here, let me tell you, I want to tell the funny story that's even worse than what Brian was talking about. So A store I know, good friends of mine, they had a bunch of back issues in their basement, and they let a few people go down there and dig for dollar books, but they didn't say it was dollar books. They just said, "Oh, it's cover price. Anything you find down there is cover price." Because honestly, there's no point in time where I would sell a book that I sold for $1.50 to $2 for $1, and instantly lose $1 minimum, let alone
Right.
the profit that I hope to have built into it. And they were like, the second time these guys went down there digging, and they were like, "Is the Wi-Fi messed up?" Yeah. And then they're like, what how many people are on the Wi-Fi right now? And there was like 4 people on the Wi-Fi, and there's 2 of them were upstairs. And they went down there, and 2 guys were doing a Whatnot live sale from their basement, starting everything at cover price and selling from their store
Before they bought it.
Yeah.
it.
Wow. That's
And
not a pair of fucking balls.
yeah, well, it's a great set of balls, but you better make sure that it's okay with the owner, because then they basically had an entire day's worth of sales taken from them. And they were like, "Yeah, guys, you can't do this here. This is our store,
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
your store.
Yeah, I
You're
had
not
that
paying
happen
this
yesterday.
rent."
That's what I was going to say. I would say, hey, the books are the same price that I said, but the rent for the room
Yeah.
to do the Whatnot
Yeah.
sale is $400.
So they just took those books away from him. The guys were screaming at him,
Yeah.
"No, you said these were cover price." Yes, you can buy them at cover price. After you buy them at cover price, take them to your house and run your sale at your house.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and that's kind of that extra line, Brian, that I think you weren't crossing like these guys were.
Hey, Dennis, do me a favor and type hello in the chat.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Brian, to bring that up, but it was weird because it wasn't.
Well, yesterday what are they called? The Disney.
Okay, it's working now.
I don't know what that was. That's weird.
Yeah, no,
Disney-
I think somebody blocked me. Somebody with a wrench might have blocked me or something temporarily.
Yeah, make sure for anybody out there that is a moderator, don't ever block anybody unless we ask you guys to block somebody. Just a heads up.
Yeah.
Even though I don't see that anywhere, I'm not saying anybody did that, but just a heads up for future notice.
Yeah. What are the Disney bags called? Not panel flies. They're the expensive bags.
Yeah, they're made by Funko, I think. Lounge fly.
Lounge flies. So we sell lounge flies in here, right? Because we're near Disney.
Yeah.
And so the lady's like, "How much is that lounge fly?" I'm like, "Well, it's 120, but if you buy it right now, I'll give it to you for 110." And she goes, "Okay." So I'm in the corner, and I hear her say 130, and I go, "No, it's 110." And then I hear her say 150. And I realized she's literally selling it on Whatnot. And so I walk over, I go, "You have your credit card?" I put on I didn't say it, I put on thing. I said, "Give me your credit card." And she goes, "Why?" I go, "Because you need to pay for that right now before you sell it for more than what you're buying it for." So she gave me her credit card, and I go, "You go walk it right outside. You now own that, sell for whatever you want," right? But to do it inside the store and whatever, I get it. And you got to keep in mind, you know where this freaking started from? Two freaking douches that went to a Buc-ee's and sold product live out of Buc-ee's and did $60,000 before they paid for one freaking item.
Yeah, and the thing is hey guys, I fucking salute the attempt. I don't think that you're bad people. You're just really ballsy, gutsy motherfuckers, and I love you for it. But when the hammer comes down, and the hammer is absolutely right in that situation.
I disagree.
Brian,
they're bad people.
Brian, if you had just bought 5 copies and then stashed the other 20 and came back another time and bought another 5, or if you'd busted open that bag and put 1 and then 5 other comics and then 1 and then 10 other comics and then another one. And they wouldn't have spotted that going through. There's, you know, it's when you got ballsy enough to go, yes, can we have the whole bag for 25? And the guy's like,
I think if
wait
you
a
knew,
second.
Well, here's the thing,
if
though.
you, if
Here's
you,
the
let me
thing.
just say this, Brian, real fast. If you knew the store owner this happened with,
I think I know which store owner it is.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I've been to stores in the Phoenix area and I
Yeah.
know who bagged them.
But
Yeah,
the
yeah.
interesting thing is that, like, if you say that this sale is to get rid of stock in your back room, I'm doing that. I'm getting rid of stuff. There's nobody in. 25 people are not going to come in
Right.
and buy that book. I'm doing what you wanted. You know, you could have pulled these books out and done this, but you know, they're one of the best stores in the valley by far. Also, when you bring up, and what I mean by that is they are one of the best looking stores I've ever been into. But when you bring up books to them, they look them up, and they're already priced, but they still look them up.
Is that the kind of young douchebag who has the books all the way to like the 12-foot spot on his wall?
No.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah.
It was, I walked in there and I sensed it. He had just opened the store a couple years earlier. He was a new jack flipper. You could just see, you could smell it on him. He had his new books. Jesse, you got to know who it was because it was.
No, I know who it is. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Is he still open?
No, he's not.
Okay. Because I could just tell this guy did not understand the market he was in. Just every book, no matter what it was going on that wall. And there was no negotiating. And it's just like, and the prices were double, triple what the going rate was for some of the books. And it was just like, okay.
So a comic shop that's about 30 minutes away from me, so about 30, 35 miles. When he has a sale, there's there's a guy who does conventions. There's a guy, my buddy, who you guys met, Steve from cyberspace, and myself. We're not allowed to buy anything at his sale.
Yeah.
You don't want my money?
Yeah, that's so weird to me. That's so weird to me. I've never understood that. It doesn't matter what I'm doing with it after I buy it from you. I'm giving you
some.
Don't price it, dude. If you knew how many, I used to fill a long box for 75 at shows. I would take 500 long boxes. I stacked them 2 tables on top of each other, the whole shebang. And one guy, and it kills me to this day, but he pulled every Spawn #1 I had in my dollar boxes. And but this was the line that I drew. And I'm like, I put them in there. That's fine. Because we had, it must have been 40 or 50 Spawn #1.
They made 1 million of them.
Yeah.
But and at that time, it was a $1 book. Now it's 50 to 100.
Yeah.
It was the point at which he spread the box after filling it front to back. He spread the box left to right and started shoving comics in sideways.
Yeah, sideways.
And I was like, nope. You can fill a box from front to back. And I started taking those books out.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
He got all pissy.
Yeah.
He got all pissy with me. And then I was like, here, go. And then, but he had already bought the long box full of Spawns.
How do you guys price? Now, you said that you guys, and Jesse, how do you price your comics? Do you still use Key Collector to price your books?
So believe it or not, I know this is going to sound crazy. I don't even use any price guides anymore. A customer walks in.
Yep.
You got Invincibles. Okay, these are $100 each. Obviously, they're priced. Well, where'd you get your price from? That's why I'm asking for them. I have learned that me going to a page where 3 items have sold for $20 does not make that a $20 book. What it is it's a need. And if that person needs the book and I've got the book and I need to get $25 for the book.
Hold on.
Then it's going to be $25.
Look at the chat. Cover Price just wept a tear, Jesse, because he has an app that tells you what his comics are worth.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Cover Price.
That's immaterial. A comic is worth what I need to get for it.
Well,
and what I know I can sell.
I agree with you, Jesse. There's books you price out on the floor, There's books when someone says, hey, do you have this book? And you go to the back, you have to pay to take that book from me. That is my book, and I set the price. And if I say, Spider-Man 300, this, 8.0 is $300. Well, yeah, but it's not graded. That's fine. I'm not selling a Spider-Man 300 for less than 300.
Yeah.
You have to pay me 300 to get it from me.
I had a guy today looking at my Evil Ernie #1.
Yeah.
I have it up for 500. Graded copies get 750. He looks at it. He goes, I'd pay your price 500 if it was a 9.4 or 9.6. I said, well, I don't grade books. He goes, well, even ungraded, it's not a 9.4 or 9.6. I said, there is some stress on the spine, but there's no color breaks. Get it fucking pressed.
Yeah.
That's my price. That's where we're at.
Exactly.
This book has no problems other than stresses.
Yeah. I know I'm going to piss people off when I say this, and you guys know Nick is a good friend of mine over at Key Collector. That's just a guy that you did not get a diploma from anybody saying that you have the right price for every single person. You know how many people walk in and they say, oh, this book is on my phone, and it said, no. Do they need it or they don't need it? Do you have it the price that they wanted at? Fine, that's the price it is. So I don't use any guides anymore. Even as an overstreet advisor, that's fine. I put in the stuff and all that.
So you just pull a number out of the air?
I pull a number based on trend and what I read and what I see and what I see the customers buying. So right now we sell a lot of Daredevil. So I know those key Daredevils, especially Frank Miller's, they're going to start off at $25. I'm sorry. That's where they're starting off. And most of them are then be more.
I'll go one step further. I don't sell any Spawn book for less than $6 because if I price it $5, it's 5 for $12. That's $4. I can't buy a Spawn collection for $4 a book.
No. Yeah.
So I want a minimum of Spawn 4. There's a million copies of it. I will not sell one for less than $6.
If I wish I had a portable phone to show you. I have my key wall, which is 12 shelves of keys. This weekend, at my price, I have the 12, which is about $250. I have about 25 books left. So I know what to price my books to sell them in my store to a customer base that is rabid and is going to spend money. But the second we start to nickel and dime it and do this and do that, and I'm sorry, man, go buy a car or something. You can do that there, but
that's why I hate the graded game, because you risk it, right? And you grade this book. It's hot right now. It goes down. You have $20 to $5 in it, plus what you paid for the book, plus the shipping and insurance and all that shit. And if that book goes in the dumpster, that's a loss.
Yeah. So I think I think if you've done this long enough, you should have a good feel of what your book should be priced for. Yeah. Are you right all the time? No. And if someone gets a great deal, because I don't care, because you paid the price I wanted.
And and also, Jesse, if they're just buying that one book, that's your price. But if they bring up 20 books and say, hey, can you knock 20% off all these if I buy all these?
Sure.
Maybe.
Yeah. You know what? Money talks and bullshit walks. Let's talk.
I always tell people I get cheaper. The more you buy, the cheaper I get.
Yeah, exactly. I say it too.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we're in a world that you need to be smart for your store. And you shouldn't have someone else telling you how to be smart in your store. No. This is my customer base. This is what it sells. Even when you're live streaming, you know where to start it off. Start your books off at $1. I start my books off exactly at the price I want.
Brian, I'm sending you a picture in our group chat.
So here's my next question.
Can we hit this picture before you go on?
Yeah, hold on here.
I thought this was brilliant, and I saw it at a card show, and I took a picture of it. If you love the card and the price, buy it. If you love the card, but not the price, make an offer. But don't say the word comps to me.
Yeah.
And that goes along with what Jesse says. It's very much my philosophy.
This ain't fucking real estate.
It's
Yeah.
Fuck your
And-
comps.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Comps don't have it right now because they sold it to somebody who was buying. I
Yeah.
have it. You're here. Do you want to buy it? Because that's the price, or make an offer.
Yeah. Or,
So
or walk away.
What about other items, non-comic books? Action figures, toys, collectibles, shirts, records. How do you guys find pricing data on that?
I think me and Dennis had the same philosophy on that. Shirts, you know, certain amount of shirt were $10 each, 3 for 25. Socks $4 each, 3
Even
for 10.
if it's like a crazy band shirt from the 80s, like how do you
Well, here, Brian, I'm
Yeah.
sending you the next picture because I was actually going to segue into this.
Yeah. So I think that's a little bit different. But when we're buying 500 shirts a month, the chances of us getting shirts that are $100, not like Emmet, we're going to identify those shirts for sure.
Yeah.
I
But
got this
So
shirt.
where do you go? Where do you go to identify those shirts?
Here's the answer, Brian, is you go to your 20, 30, 40 years of experience
Yep.
and how many times you've seen that, how many times you're going to see it again and be upset that you didn't have
There's-
one to sell
Yeah. There's
when you find the
replacement
right
cost.
customer.
Right. There's a
I got
replacement
this
cost.
shirt in a collection of vintage shirts that I bought at an auction, and I paid probably $10 or less for this shirt. I've never seen one before. There's no comps on eBay. I've never seen another one since. I put this on eBay for $500. I had all sorts of people go, these shirts don't go for that. I'll give you
Yep.
$50. I'm fine. I got $5-10 into it. It's $20 profit is not going to make my day.
Right.
$50 profit is not going to make my day. But if I have this when the #1 Roger Rabbit collector comes around, or when they announce that Roger Rabbit just lost the rights and the original rights holder is going to make a Jessica Rabbit animated movie.
Yeah.
And this thing sold, somebody threw me an offer for $350 for this shirt. Thank you. That's the price. And
Yep.
I'll never have another one of these come through my door. You can see this was in a bag. This
Yeah.
was sealed.
And again, marketing 101 is the stuff like this, you technically don't want to sell. You
Nope.
want people to say, if they have freaking this, then what else do they have?
Yep.
I was offered a very nice price for my San Diego program,
First.
1970 program.
Yep.
I'm talking about a very nice price. What did I do? I put it up for 3 times more on eBay. Why? Because I don't care if I sell it.
Yeah.
I put it up. I've already got 120 views. I put it up
I've-
30 minutes before the show. So people are now saying, well, I can't afford that, but let me see what else he's got now.
I've got that Darwin Cook preliminary for Invincible Returns on eBay right now. In the last, and that book apparently has gone supernova, the book itself. And in the last couple weeks, I've had so many people just message me, what is the actual price you take? I go, I don't negotiate against myself. You're free to make
Right.
any offer you want.
Right.
But Darwin Cook ain't drawing another one of those.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. Invincible is not getting any deader over the next couple years. Okay, you make the decision on what you want to pay for it, and if it's the right price, I'll sell it to you. But until then, it's sitting on eBay for $10,000, and that's where it's sitting.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I got Darwin Cook. So put me on big screen on this. So that's me and Darwin Cook.
Yeah, Darwin
And,
was great.
yeah,
He was a
so-
drinker, baby. Oh my
yeah.
God.
So I'm having breakfast with Billy Tushy, and Darwin comes over and he goes, "Hey, Darwin, do you know Jesse? Blah blah blah, whatever." And Darwin's like, "Whatever." And so Billy says, "How's the not smoking?" And he goes, "Oh, it's working great, man. It is working great. Where's the bathroom?" And Billy says, "Over there." So, anyways, I go, "Okay, Billy, I gotta get to the convention. It's Baltimore convention." And I come around the corner, I hear my name. It's like, "Jesse, come back over here. I want to talk to you." And it's Darwin in the alley smoking. I'm like, "Oh." So that was my first time meeting him. That was funny. And we're gonna stay on Pat, but I do want to talk about Swag's video today at the end about the guy buying the 800,000 books in a warehouse and why that is bullcrap.
We were talking about it while you were chasing the kids out of the
okay.
parking lot.
All right.
No, we didn't. We didn't. I'm fucking with
okay.
you, Jesse. Jesus.
But we can talk about that later. But I want to tell you why that should be investigated as a not real story. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, because that can be a marketing ploy.
Here's the thing. I've got so many items on my eBay that are just $10,000. They're $10,000 lights that I turn on. That I'm leaving on all day, every day to attract the moths to the Wonder World comics and toys.
Yeah, I actually have to buy a bigger safe because I'm getting more and more stuff that I'm not willing to sell.
When you buy a movie theater, Emmett, when you buy a movie theater, it comes with a vault called the projection room that is the best vault I've ever had. It's got the strongest locks. It's got motion sensors, crash sensors, and it has a sprinkler built in. So as long as everything's wrapped in plastic, it'll survive the fire for a while.
Yeah, exactly. So, back to so technically your answer to that question is, I think a retailer who has a ton of years with them and experience in selling books and how consumers buy product, you should be able to price most product without having to go to your cheat sheets. And if you can't, that's okay. On the flip end, I'm not going to say, oh my gosh, you have to go. That's fine. But at some point, you just become in tune with your customer base and what they're going to pay for an item.
Brian, can you pull up my Instagram? I just posted 4 pictures today, couple posts back today.
If you don't want to miss a book, like, I don't want to miss a key, you won't have anything out on the floor for people to get excited about.
No.
You can't pull, because a lot of keys, I don't care if they call it a seat. If it's a $4 key, it's a $1 book. Nobody's fucking coming in to buy it for $4.
I'm still trying to figure out how our good friend Nick over at Key Collector has key books that are $3, and when a new issue is $5.99.
Except it's an old book that had a $1 cover price. So every book in that run is $1, except for that $3.
Stop using common sense. You're using common sense right there. Blew my whole thing with common sense. Go ahead.
So this was a card that I bought 15 years ago and just had sitting in the vault. I sent it off to get graded. It only came back a PSA 5, which I disagree with, but that's fine because a PSA 5 is still like a $2,500 card.
Yeah.
This was a Rayquaza VMAX. It was a $300 raw. We bought in for $150 about a year ago. Sent it off. It came back 10. It was only going for like 400 or 510. But my employee told me, let's hold off on that. We put it in the drawer. We actually forgot about it. I pulled it out today. I'm like, what is this card going for now? She's like, oh, yeah, that's a $700 raw, $1,700 10. Then I went to go post this particular card and I looked at the comps. Yeah, I look at comps. A month ago, it was $2,200. We actually missed a $500 high window.
Yep.
Okay, but that's fine. That's fine. We still bought it for $150 and it's still a $1,700 card. It goes on eBay. Next one, Brian. This one, the Blaziken, was a $200 raw about in July. I sent it to PSA in July when Emmet and you and I were out there.
Yeah.
And it came back about 4 weeks ago. If I had the time and I jumped on it, this card was a $1,200 card. It's only a $900 card now. But when I gave it to them in July, it was a $200 card.
Yeah.
Okay, there's so many times where you win if you're playing baseball all the time. There's so many times you're going to win. You can't complain about the little bit of extra that you lost.
You can't get a
No.
hit without swinging the bat.
Right, there you go. And now go one more, Brian. And this was a card that was just sitting in a box. I don't even think this was sleeved when we found it. My son was like, hey, Dad, I think this is a good card. And so I graded it. It's like a $700 card now.
Yeah.
It was just sitting in a box ungraded.
I tell you, Yu-Gi-Oh comes in the worst condition. The people played the fuck out of their cards. No
Yep.
goddamn sleeves, nothing.
I used to
Put
this
them in
was
their
something
pockets.
when I first opened my store. The kids that would come in would be like they have them in their pocket and they trade. And I would buy one of their beat up cards that was like a $20 card. Now that was maybe a $5 card. And you know what I'd tell them? I'd go, I will trade you this for one pack of sleeves if you promise me you'll go home and sleeve the rest of your cards. And just to do it as a PSA, within 2 to 3 years, those same kids were coming back with mint $50 cards, mint $100 cards, because I taught them how to take care of their cards. And by doing that and eating a shit card, for sleeves that I still had a profit into, but I taught them how to take better care of it. And I created better sellers to bring me better merchandise down the road.
So at 12 years old, 11 years old, 10 years old, whatever it is, you get your pro super huffy bike and all that, and you're putting your baseball cards onto the back wheels and making all those clicking. Dennis is over there putting his cards in sleeves.
The end.
That was probably Dennis at 9 years old.
Oh, God, no.
Saying, oh, that's
my original blue Star Wars cards were the most dog-eared piece of shit you ever saw, because I just kept them in a Star Wars lunchbox, and they banged around every place I ever moved them to.
I actually was selling my cards when I was 7 years old because my dad would work the flea market. He gave me a little table. And
both of you guys were like Nepo babies.
Oh, I know. Yeah, is that crazy?
I found that the older guys were coming in and buying all my older cards. So I thought that if I made them look older, they would be more attractive. So I would take them and roll them up, crease them up, and make them look really old. That didn't last long. A guy came up and goes, "What the hell are you doing?"
The Christmas that my uncles and my father debate that basically, and they were all born in like 51, 52. And they talked about the times that they put Mantles and Marises on their bike spokes to see which one sounded better. And they just chuckled at how many thousands of dollars, thousands of dollars.
So I got a story for you. My dad used to tell me stories. So first of all, when I first realized that what cards was with Garbage Pail Kids. 1986, Garbage Pail Kids first started showing up at Circle K's. One of my best friend's mom worked at Circle K for 30 years. And he would get these Garbage Pail Kids cards, and I want some of these. So we went and looked, and they were sold out everywhere. Like, you couldn't find Garbage Pail Kids when they first came out anywhere. And my dad said to me, you know what? I think I know where we can get some. There's a baseball card shop that we can go check out. So boom, my whole world opened. And my dad told me, and I started collecting cards, baseball kids, Garbage Pail Kids, baseball cards, football cards, everything. And my dad tells me, Brian, I always had collected cards when I was a kid too. And I think they're all over at your grandparents' house. And my dad said, I put them all in. Me and my brothers always kept them in a black trunk, big black trunk, and we used to play a form of now what they call quarters, where you'd flip quarters against a wall, And
Yeah.
Pogs,
and
early
they used-
Pogs.
they used to play it with their cards, where you'd flip the cards against a wall and you would, bet your favorite cards. And he said that he would always put up his best cards. He would put up his best cards whenever a Maze, Mantle, or Maris would come up, and he would always flip his Clementes and Ted Williams and whatever. So he goes, I have a trunk full of cards. We go to my grandparents' house, and my grandparents go, Wayne, we just got rid of that whole trunk. They were out in the thing, and we threw them all away. And my
Yeah.
dad was like heartbroken. And if he would have those cards, I couldn't imagine. But anyway, it goes back. Like, we all have those
Shout out
stories,
to Papa McClay.
right?
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah.
got me into collecting. That was my thing, from Garbage Pail Kids to sports cards to comic books to everything. That got me into collecting, which we all have those great stories, which I fucking love. They're
But see,
that
but
is the
that's
part of the
also,
hobby.
Brian, that's also why you wouldn't take less than 60 cents for your cards
Yeah.
from that asshole.
Yeah.
That's why I only give 50 cents on the dollar, because I want your stuff, but I know there's nothing so rare that it's not going to come in again, and I can hold it 60.
That's a
Unless I
great
really
point
want
there,
it, and then I'll
Dennis.
bump it up.
That's a great point, that there's nothing so rare it's not going to come in again, because
Right,
that's a thing in my head that I remember Jesse telling me years ago, that I've sold every comic book that I can think of 3 times over, and everything is for sale because I know I will see another one again. And we forget.
Actually, though, Brian, hold on. We got to all be honest, guys. What's the one thing you sold that you regret because you've never seen
Great
another
point.
one?
That's exactly where I was
Yeah.
going. Great fucking
I know
point.
which mine is. I have my great white whale, and I'll tell you. I had an original Marvel stamp book with all 100 stamps, including the San Diego, signed by Stan Lee.
Wow.
And I sold it for $1,000 at a convention where I was underwater, and the guy, the booth price was $1,000, and I said, well, I'll get another one. I mean, Stan's still here.
Right.
I've
Sure.
still to this day never gotten a full 100 all stamps, and I will never cut out a stamp to complete an album. It's got to be all 100 for me
Sure.
to care. But I've never seen an all 100 signed by Stan ever again.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine was a double signed Jack Kirby piece that ended up, I didn't look at the back when I sold it. And I'm like, oh, they probably made 100 of these. And Danny, the guy who bought it from me, who Brian knows, turns it after he buys it and says, hey, that's a AP1, right? I'm like, oh, awesome. Thank you for telling me after you bought it.
I got one. It was that $16 pack of Bowman Chrome that I sold to Vinny Kumar, where a $250,000 plus card came out of it, and I had to send it to him.
Right.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
You got one, Emmet, that you can think of?
Yeah, when I first opened up, brand new, an old gentleman brought in a box of cards, and he wanted me to consign it. It was a tile box, a construction tile box. When we opened it, it was filled with cards from the 50s. And it had a 51 Mickey Mantle.
Oh,
And
that's a
I
rookie.
think,
That's a rookie Mickey Mantle. 51
yeah,
Bowman.
that's the real rookie, but
Yep.
the 52 is what everybody wants.
Yeah.
But I sold it for $800.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
Well, and then I mean, here I'll give you one more.
That's 14 years ago, though. But
I'll give you one more, and I'll find the picture after I do the thing. I used to buy up all the Pokemon because it was worthless. It was back 2013. It was all junk that everybody was dumping. And I have a picture. My son, who loved Pokemon, but I never gave him these. I had a stack of like 10 Charizards, and I think we've shown it here on the show before. And the front one is a Shadowless first edition that's easily an 8 or a 9 top loader. And then the rest of them are all fanned out because he wanted to show his friends at school how many Charizards his dad had. And 2015, I had that stack of cards sitting on a thing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take the best one of these and put it on eBay. And I think we put the highest price ever asked for it. This was right when grading started, like 2015. You know, it was started before that, but people were grading Pokemon. And I was like, oh, a PSA 10 is like, you know, $1,000. I'll sell this for 500. And the guy was like, can you take better scans of it? And then bought it instantly for 500. And I still to this, I'm like, did he get a 9 or a 10 out of that?
Yeah.
And then you see Logan Paul wearing his $500,000 PSA 10. And I'm just like, I didn't need the 500.
Wow.
I didn't. I just wanted to brag that I sold one for 500. You know, the highest price, raw.
Yep. You know, I wanted, they were talking about Paperboy, the game. And
awesome. I loved that fucking game.
Yeah, that was awesome. So I decided I was going to make money to buy comics by getting my own paper route. And so that was the Las Vegas Review Journal in 1983, 1984. So the first day they drop off like 4 stacks. And what I do, I go out and deliver the papers. Next day they drop off all the stacks. I go next day, and it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Monday comes, there's no paper. So I'm like, what the hell? I delivered all the papers, right? I'm doing my job. Well, I didn't know specific houses got the paper. I just was delivering them to every single.
That's so Jesse.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my paper boy thing there.
Black Friday's coming up. What is your guys' strategy for Black Friday?
You know, Black Friday is very interesting. We're not big bulk sellers that can say, oh, we have 10,000 of these at $40. And I've realized over the years that even when I was opening up at midnight on Black Friday and doing from midnight to whatever 9 a.m., I would do about $4 or $5 grand. But then during the day, I would do about $3 grand on stuff I didn't have to discount pre 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so the challenge is, yes, having a cool amount of doorbusters, but everything else, you really don't have to have a store-wide sale. Now, that's just me, but you really don't have to have a store-wide sale anymore. I think people just need those doorbusters to get in and then see what else they actually need.
Yeah. Emmet?
I wanted to bring in a star to do a signing.
You didn't ask me.
The problem, he canceled on me. So it'll just be a sale. I usually do it to decrease some of the stuff I want to get rid of. Like, so I've lowered my price on pops to $10, and I'm going to do a BOGO. So it's $5 a piece, and I hope to sell 300 pops because I have over 1,000. I'd love to sell 1,000. If that happens, that's great. If somebody thinks they can buy them and then resell them at $10 or $15, fantastic. I have a lot of back stock of comics right now, so I'll be doing dollar books at half price. They'll be 50 cents, and there'll be bangers in there. And if they're willing to dig and spend the time, and that'll be for the whole weekend. I'm going to carry that all the way through to Tuesday because I don't open on Monday.
So for the last 3.5 years, I've thought, you know what? New concept store. I don't need to do that. I'm Mr. Big Guy Experimental. I don't care if I sell anything. I'm not opening super early. People come to the smaller mall, the crap mall that I'm in for Bath and Body Works. Spencer's doesn't have a Black Friday much of anything. What am I giving money away for?
Right.
Then I saw the new mall, and I thought, well, you know what? There's actually people that come to this mall for Black Friday. Maybe I should try something this year. So I decided to go back to my old style of just awesome deals for Black Friday from, my old store. Buy one, get one half off, buy two, get one free, buy three, get one free, buy four different, give everything a tier. Don't bother with the Pokemon cards because they don't need a deal. They're going to sell themselves.
Yep.
No pack deals or anything like that. And then, as you know, I do my little $5, my $10 coupon, $5 off your next $10 purchase. Well, they don't know that I give that away to everybody who buys $10 in my store. What if I put that coupon at the top and say not good with any of these offers, but that coupon is good until December 31st? And then that's the lead. So they're automatically getting that coupon in their hand. Then you give them the sale tiers, and we're thinking, Funkos buy one, get one free, because then they can't use the $5 3 for 12 deal. It negates it and still gives it a better deal because it's $5 and $2.50, so it's 7 for 2, whatever the breakdown is. But now I think I want to experiment with bringing back those principles for just that store and not the other two.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. We're actually designing that tomorrow or Thursday.
Interesting. There you go.
Jesse, you're muted.
No, absolutely. It's you got to really look at your surroundings too. I mean, if you're in a mall and you already have a ton of people coming in that mall, how does that front of your store attract people to get them to walk in and buy? And so that's the very, I've been in malls for a good portion of my life with Nordstrom. So I think it's a very interesting part of the year. I mean, who would think it's next week?
It's
we'll
still hold on, it's still
2
10
weeks.
days away.
10 days away. Yeah, next week, right?
Don't
next
rush
week.
me. Don't rush me.
Next
That
week.
is, next week. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Next Friday.
Next night. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know, but it's still next week.
It's still next week.
Next Thursday is
Next week
Thanksgiving.
is shorter than 10 days.
Yeah.
Hey, my son's birthday is Sunday. Don't rush it.
Yeah.
Don't rush it.
Well, one of the last things I want to talk about tonight, we kind of brought it up earlier in the show, was the penny shortage stuff. And I think one of the ultimate, most crazy collectibles is getting ready to hit the market. The last 5 pennies that were minted, that were pressed, they put an omega symbol on.
What?
And yeah.
Oh, you haven't heard this, Emmet?
Oh,
No.
this is so freaking cool, you
But
guys.
here's my problem.
Are they putting it into circulation?
Yes.
Where are they putting it though? Because they did this thing where they did a big press conference and they were like, "This is a $10,000 quarter. We're gonna spend it here at this hot dog stand in New York City. Take pictures of us spending this 25-cent piece at this hot dog stand and putting it into circulation." And then here we go. All right, here's my hot dog. All right. And then the smartest guy in the world went up and said,
"Can I have change for $1?"
"Can I have change for $1?" And it was the photographer from the newspaper. And everybody was like, "What?" Killed the entire thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys know about this. The last couple months of Stanley doing signings, people were so like Dennis would be behind me, Emmet would be behind. Oh, Dennis, go ahead. You can go in front of me. I'm waiting for someone. Oh, Emmet, yeah, go ahead, because you were trying to be the last in line.
Yeah. Those vultures wanted to be the last one if he dropped dead that day.
Yep. I mean, it is freaking crazy what goes on. But you know what? It is what it is. There's always going to be money made somehow on something. And, so be it.
I think
Well,
this is super
and I'm
cool.
just saying, I've already put my order in through my banks, all my banks that are selling pennies. I've put my orders in. I'm buying $250 worth of pennies.
You remember? Go ahead.
Just to try and get rolls of the 2025s, because I think
Right.
the whole roll is going to be worth massive amounts of money.
Yep. Remember back in the day, this is probably the 80s, 90s. They probably stopped at mid 2010, where when you brought in a roll, you'd have to write your whole bank account on
Yeah.
it.
Account and
Yeah.
your name.
Yeah, and your name on it.
You know why they did that? Because assholes were sneaking nickels into the quarter rolls.
Yep.
Yep.
And then they would short it 49 cents instead of giving the person 50 cents. And then, that adds up. And then one day they're like, oh, no, you don't have to do that anymore. We figured it out.
Yeah,
And
we just have to weigh them.
Yeah, they weigh, or they'd have these penny things, and they just stick in the penny thing to make sure it fit, and it was good to go.
Interesting.
Well, and here's the thing. It's coming. I'm telling you. When they canceled the penny, they said the reason is it takes 4 cents to make a penny. Well, it takes 13 cents to make a nickel.
Yep.
They're going to cancel the nickel next, and then it's just going to be a base 10 system going forward.
Man,
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly.
That's
They're
so
going to
crazy.
get rid of money altogether.
Yeah. Oh, at some point.
But then they get that. But the second they control it, just like with what we were talking about earlier, then they go, well, if you use cash, it's this much tax. But if you're using a tap, we got to charge you 5 cents now. But you got us all to use tap. Well, yeah, now we get to charge 5 cents to go to the monetary fund and 3 cents to go to this. And you got 10% tax because you all have to use fuck centralized banks.
There you go. So, do you
Cash
think
is king?
Yeah. Do you think and I don't think you guys watched the video. I watched the video. Do you think it's possible that a guy can go into find a 6,000 square foot warehouse that has 8,000 comics in it?
Wasn't it 800,000?
800,000.
800,000, yeah. 800,000 comics in it.
If you knew the warehouses I've been in that had as much, if not more than that, one of the best hoarder finds I ever stumbled on was a 10,000 square foot warehouse. They were taking this guy's collection. He passed away. They were taking his collection. They were sorting it into different areas. You walked in and it was Hot Wheels in this corner, and it was Mark's play sets, those big metal boxed play sets from the 50s. It was Lionel Trains, pre-war Lionel Trains in this corner. It was Barbie's, G.I. Joe 12 inches over here. And they were like, you're here for the 90s toys, right? And I was like, yeah, but can I look at, nope, those are already spoken for. We brought you in to buy the 90s toys, the X-Men and the all of this. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll take all the 90s toys. And this was another situation where I offered him exactly how much money I had. They said, make us an offer, come back tomorrow with the truck.
Yep.
So I made an offer. He wanted just to win one. He said, make it 500 more and it's yours. Okay. And we start throwing the boxes into the truck as all of these other dealers are buying their giant horde of awesome antique toys. I've never seen as many awesome Corgi die casts as I've seen it in that collection. I mean, he had probably 100 Corgi Batmobiles with the boxes.
Wow.
And as we're throwing it all in the truck of all the 90s, but I mean, there was awesome shit in there. Jurassic Park, just everything and anything. And then my guy's like, oh, here's Star Wars. And he opens the box up, and it's a box full of vintage Star Wars carded figures.
Oof.
I'm like, put this in the front seat. Oh, there's another one. Put this in the front seat.
Yeah, and that's a great story, and that happens all the time. This is 800,000 basically new issues at the time stored in boxes.
Yes. Yeah, I watched the video. It's awesome.
Yeah. Now,
So
did
how
you-
far back does it go?
did you know
he
that-
had a 9.5 graded Black Lotus
Yep.
Magic Alpha.
Fuck me.
So this is most likely the most planted warehouse I have ever seen video ever.
No, this was
Yeah.
somebody who died, and
No,
this guy
it is
ended up.
not. I
Oh, do
want
you-
you to
Who
look
is she,
at
though?
the diamond.
Is she the one that found it?
No, it was a guy named Beefy Burgers or something like that, or
Jesus Christ.
taco cheese, whatever his
I mean,
name
he
was.
had tons of graded books. He had tons of graded
Yeah,
cards.
look at his graded books. But look at the diamond boxes in the video.
He had capital boxes in there.
Yeah,
this
he
has
had
been hoarding
capital.
for a long time.
Right, the capital I get, but look at the diamond boxes. He doesn't have the video, and I don't think you're going to see that in this video. The
No.
diamond boxes are modern diamond boxes.
Yes, he was still buying new books. He was adding to this as his. I don't know who owned this originally. I'd love to see one of those diamond labels to see what account this was.
Maybe I misunderstood. I thought it was a warehouse that hadn't been used since the 90s.
No. This is somebody's warehouse that had kept adding to it and kept adding to it. And so much so that he probably forgot what he had. And I think it was somebody big who, kind of like that Selling Superman, his dad was a co-owner of a local Detroit store. And he would just take what he wanted and he threw it in his house, and his family didn't understand what it was. Why do you have 100 copies of this, Punisher 129, Dad? Well, because every time one would come into that store, he would take that as part of his profit. And I think this is some vendor who was like us, just kept buying and buying and buying. He had this warehouse.
Modern diamond. Okay.
And when he passed away, the family or whoever was in charge just said, this is too much to go through. Somebody make us an offer.
All right, I'm gonna rewatch the video because I must have misunderstood what they said during this video.
I wish we would know how much he paid for it.
No, I don't. You know what? I don't care. I don't know.
Yeah,
think it's
6,000
just
square
cool to
feet,
know that there's a bunch-
800,000 books.
Dude, there's so much of this out here.
25,000, maybe.
No, I bet you that warehouse, you're not moving that person off of that warehouse for less than $1 million. I bet you they paid $1 million for all of that.
You're telling me Beefy Burgers had $1 million to spend.
He can get together investors. He can get together a bank loan.
No. I think it.
I don't know who Beefy Burger is. Do you know Beefy Burger?
I don't know what his name is.
You don't know that he's not. He might have paid with it in Bitcoin. Who knows? He could be the biggest owner of GameStop stock.
Louis, New York City 2 says he bought it in June or July
of this year.
of this year.
Okay. Then he just put out the video today or
I thought it
this
was
week?
Sacramento. Didn't I see Sacramento somewhere?
No. The guy that said he bought it in June, his name has New York in it.
Yeah. It's,
Oh, okay.
Louis, but then it has AZ, New York City to Arizona.
That's our boy
Yeah.
Lewis from out here. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying because I didn't buy it, I'm sour grapes about it, and he
Glad the
paid
check-
$25,000 for it.
I got enough shit. I don't know. I'm glad for him. I'm happy for him. Whatever he paid for it, he's gonna make a fortune. Because I don't think if you guys don't think he paid over $1 million, I think he might have paid $1 million for that warehouse, and he's gonna make 6 figures
That's
off
less
of
than
that
$2.
one.
That's $2
Alpha.
a book.
What's Alpha Black Lotus go for these days?
Well, it depends on whether it was
9.5
alpha.
Beckett.
It was an
9.5.
alpha.
It's an Alpha 9.5 Black Lotus.
400 grand.
And it was signed.
Oh, that brings it down.
No, it doesn't. No.
Yes, in
no.
Magic it does.
Not for the
Not for
Kevin,
that card. Yeah.
not for the Kevin McCarthy's or whatever the guy from
No, Church.
Shark Tank.
Oh,
The Shark Tank guy. You're telling me he doesn't want to buy the rarest signed graded card that goes when it
the
goes
guy
up on
is
Heritage?
the guy is dead. So, the artist.
Yeah,
He already
yeah.
signed it. He is passed.
I've got a print of him
400,000.
signing. Yeah.
Post Malone paid 800,000 for
Yeah,
one.
you're
that
telling
was
me Post
signed.
Malone isn't on a plane after seeing that video?
Well, he's got one. He's got.
He doesn't have a signed 9.5.
He's got a signed one. I don't know what grade it is.
Oh, okay. But either way, the guy's going to make his money back. I guarantee you.
On that
If he
one
paid
card.
$1 million, he's getting half his money back on that one card.
Yeah.
And I saw an Alpha dual land. I saw a whole bunch of just Power 9. And I'm just like, okay, this guy's going to get his money back no matter what. Good for him. That's.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. I sold Power 9. That's another thing.
But
really
it comes
mad.
and goes. It comes and goes. And,
Yeah,
and just look, there's warehouses
10
full of this shit.
I had a 10 time walk. So.
Well, you know.
So Emmet, you don't have tables for people play at all, right?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do have players.
I used to have enough. I used to have enough tables to fit 60 people, and after
Okay.
COVID, I took half that space back up with merchandise because it was so small. Now I'm having a problem because now I'm at max again. 32 people coming to play for certain events, and I've got nowhere to put them. So
You got a restaurant in your mall?
I'm not in a mall. I'm in a downtown.
Oh, but I
So-
mean, in your downtown area, there's got to be another restaurant you could make a deal with.
Yeah. I have somebody that's a couple of doors down, which is a coffee shop, and they have.
Yeah, that's the kids' table. Ask
Yeah.
them, say, hey, when you sign up and you're number 33, you're playing at the diner.
Yeah. The reason why I was asking is, are you allotted based on how much you can buy, or how many tables you have, or how many players you have?
You're allotted on your regular play. That's why I
Okay.
don't understand. You would be a premium store if you had play space because of how nice your store is set up. Everything matches. Everything has to match. Your glass cases, your racks, everything, and then you can go premium. Premium, you get double of everything. So you would apply to be premium, but you have to have a player base first.
Right. Okay.
And that's why phase 2 of my store has a game room in the mid.
Nice.
What does that mean?
That's why my
phase
next
2?
store, I want to do 10,000 square feet, so I can give almost 1,000 square feet to the players.
Yep.
So apparently the guy's name is Beer Can Mike. So I am going to claim Beefy Burgers.
How did you
that
get
name.
Beer Can Mike into Beefy Burgers?
Well, it starts with a B.
Oh,
Yeah.
Was that in California?
I believe the warehouse is in California, and is Beer Can Mike from New York? Is that what we're hearing?
Because there's a guy out in California that I spoke to about when he was opening his store. We talked a lot, and he had sold his trucking company.
Yeah,
that dude would be a dude that would have $1 million.
And I'll tell you what, the biggest score here in the Detroit area was a guy who owned a trucking company, and his son loved magic, and he bought a pallet of Alpha.
Whoa.
And he gave his son a box or two, and he just had it. And when the guy died and the son took over, the son was like, oh God, I didn't know my dad bought a pallet of this. And it was a pallet of Alpha Magic that at that time sold for millions we just heard it popped up, it surfaced, and it was gone.
Packs sell for $100,000 to $200,000.
Yes.
Yep. The original.
Yeah. But I had heard that the pallet sold for over $1 million. Was left of the pallet back then.
Yep. That guy you're talking to, his name is Big Mike.
Yeah, Big Mike.
Yeah, Big Mike. He has bought a lot from me over the years. Real good guy. He's actually
he's a great
from
guy.
Merced, California, where I grew up originally. And so I've known him for, he knows my family basically. Real good guy. He just opened up his own store and is having fun and fun under the sun. So very, very cool stuff.
And great guy. Great guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
solid dude.
most people in this industry are great guys and gals. It's just sometimes they don't know how to run a business. I mean, that's just
Yeah. I heard there's one jerk that has a movie theater full of 1 million comics
Yeah.
that he doesn't even know what's in.
Yep. The yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of like Rups or Rups warehouses, right? It's
Chris's warehouse is amazing.
yeah. It's like he has no idea what is in after 10 feet, right?
Wow.
And that's cool. And there are people like that. But for the everyday person, you need to be able to sell books. You need to be able to create prices that work with your customer base. And yeah, the guys then come in from Ohio that you never then meet before, and that's fine. But your typical customer that shops once a week, I got this customer, she's in here 6 days a week, 5 hours a day. And that's her therapy. She has a hard job, and then she goes sells on Whatnot.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Awesome. And then you got other people that walk in and they got $2 to spend. And they're in here for 2 hours trying to spend their $2 in the dollar section because that's all they got is $2, and they want the best thing.
I started to sell comics on eBay again.
Oh, okay.
But I'm only selling sets.
Before we close up, I just want to shout out the chat. 2 weeks ago, I asked for information to help me find the info on that card, and you guys sent a link of this book that was on Amazon. I bought 2 copies of it. I think one of them is, maybe it's over there. And this book is so friggin' amazing. It's the entire history of Marvel's non-sport cards leading to what is arguably one of the best sets ever made. The all Jim Lee. So it's a short story. And then it goes into the front and back of every card. Gorgeous.
Does it have the 70s minis?
No. It's not the history. It's the history of this, but it gives a history of like the Fleer stickers. Where's that at? It gives you the history, kind of a brief history of the Marvel cards and why nobody was clamoring for them because they were never a huge success. And then they talk about what I was asking about, which was those Jim Lee cards in that kids magazine and how that led them to asking Jim to do the entire set. And then that's the page from that thing that you guys sought out and matched for me. And it has the info in it, and I've shared it with PSA. So hopefully, knock on wood, it'll be the proof we needed.
You guys got any pickups this week?
Oh yeah, I sent you a picture. It's just pictures of boxes.
So Emmet picked up a decent collection this week. It looks like, huh?
Ooh,
48 shorts and a crate.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was in the crate?
Just comics. He didn't have any more boxes.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
And this was a former
customer. Yeah.
Customer, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
His name wasn't Beefy, was it?
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish. And then we have these. I think I can get. So these are 2 packs of Marvel books, and it comes with a pack of Marvel Universe.
That was such a killer pickup.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I paid 40 cents a piece for these. And the packs go for about $7. I'll get 50 cents or $1 for the comics. Now I had these a while ago. These are 1987.
Yeah, the little mini stickers from Comics Images.
Yeah.
I collected those when they came out, and the packs sucked. The collation sucked. I think I got.
Yeah.
It was like 5 stickers per pack, and they were in those flimsy little plastic baggies.
Yeah.
And I want to say I got a duplicate in every pack I bought.
Well, non-sports cards are now my big look because non-sports cards are going crazy. Like, I can't believe the prices they're getting for comic cards that were thrown away. Like
Yep.
Wolverines are getting $143.
Well, dude, I just showed last week. I got 5,000 for that Wolverine signed by Jim Lee.
Yeah.
Like I suppose I'll share this one with you.
And these, that, like all that stuff.
I've probably got over 1 million non-sport cards that I haven't even touched because, and they're all sorted, organized.
Ooh, all sorted and organized.
So, as Emmet knows, he had a huge weekend last week because the new Pokemon dropped on Friday.
Yeah.
However, if you accidentally went into Target on Thursday night to buy water for the staff water area, and you just happen to swing by and go, you don't have any Pokemon, do you? And they bring a box of the tomorrow morning's Pokemon out. They only let you have 2 packs. Brian, did you get my message? So they only let you buy 2 packs on Thursday. You can see the date on there, I think. And then go to the next one.
You pull like a motherfucker, man.
That was a $900 card that night, Brian. It's since dropped to $700, but I think it is the sexiest Charizard that they've ever made, and I'm sending it off to get graded.
100%.
Nice. Oh yeah.
I think that'll be a $2,000 card easy in like a year or 2.
Hell yeah.
That's my pickup.
Not bad. Not too shabby. Nice. Jesse?
All the work I got to do on them 48 shorts.
First of all, my best pickup was I finally passed the fire marshal inspection after 5 months today.
Holy shit.
She came in, she actually walked up, shook my hand, and said, see what happens when you do everything that we ask you to do. So I did have that. What's funny is you brought up that 67 sticker set. I just finally got my final card in a couple days ago. So I have the complete 67 sticker set.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
That's not the sticker set. That's the card set.
No, it's the sticker set. It's the stickers.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it's the sticker set. So I finally completed that. I needed 1 card for that. And then I didn't get anything big, but I just started doing cards. So again, you guys are going to say, "Oh, that's rookie stuff." But so I did buy some football cards. So I got a all-star rookie, who is this? Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
A Ben Roethlisberger.
Is it 2005?
This is 2004. Yep.
No, so that was rookie. Yeah.
Yep. Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
And a Eli Manning. So probably not big cards, but at least it's a start.
No, I think Eli's a solid. He's just not anywhere close to dead.
Unfortunately,
and that's why
all 4 of those cards are complete Hall of Famers, but they're not worth anything.
And then there's that. And then
I've got the bazooka. Yeah, I've got the bazooka of all of that year, and they're just worthless.
Yeah, the only 2004 cards that are worth anything are the Upper Deck SP, Upper Deck SPX, the Upper Deck.
Any Tom Brady, I still get like $5-10 for any.
Yeah,
Tom
but those
Brady
those are 2000, not 2004.
No. For Tom Brady, 2001 through whatever.
His rookie.
I know his rookie is 2000.
Yeah.
I've got a Tom Brady rookie because he played for U of M and everybody actually collected him. But I still get $5 for any Brady in the first 5 years.
Yeah. That's why I'm finding out. Just the basic cards in my store. We're not a pro. We're not.
There's no comp. There's no comp that when they love Tom Brady or they love Michael Jordan or they love Kobe Bryant, and you have a $5 symbol of somebody who they love, and it looks cool, and it makes them remember how much they love collecting cards. It doesn't matter if it's $1 on eBay with free shipping, and it's $5 in your store. they've got $5 in their pocket right now, and they want that card.
Yep. And then I don't know if I told you guys, but I thought someone had stolen my first Motley Crue demo tape. And
Yeah.
for 6 months or
You just
4
lost
months,
it.
I've been freaking out every single day. I finally found it. It was actually hidden where I actually hid it in the back.
Me too, all the time. It's always where
yeah.
I hit it.
So Heritage, before I send it into them, wants me to play it first to make sure. And I'm like nervous to play it because it hasn't been played since 81.
Buy a new player.
Okay.
But just spend the $30 and buy one from Amazon. They work great.
Okay.
Or if you have a friend who takes good care of his equipment.
Yeah.
You know what though?
High end.
Yeah. But any old piece of equipment can die that day.
Yeah. And it's the only one right now.
Forget about that though, Jesse. We're all waiting to hear how much did the Milky Way 1 of 1 sell for?
That actually, I think that just closed. Let me see if it's.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It was on its 7th bid. Brian, can you pull that up? It's on eBay. It just says.
Do you have a link for it?
It's under Milky Way Barger, BAR. Well,
wait a second. Do I get a nickel for using my name?
Yep.
But here I got the hot one for tonight, and I'm gonna eat it right now. Do you guys know what this is?
It's a Christmas tree.
$3.25.
It is the Little Debbie Christmas tree.
Yes.
These are the rarest thing when they come out because everybody buys up all of them.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna eat it tonight on the show.
Well, you remember when Dolly Madison went out of business and everybody was, and so, man, I wish I could find that picture. But remember Henry, Brian, that used to work at the store, the big guy, the security guy. So I had the security guy that would stay overnight and all that. And so I went and I bought every Hostess pack I could get, right? Because they were going for like $50 to $100. So I come in the next morning, packs are on the counter, but guess what? Each one is opened up. And Henry decided he was going to have a cupcake. This one, I'm like, what?
Smorgasbord.
Yeah, exactly.
I put when they did that and they stopped Hostess, I went out and bought a bunch of zingers.
Hostess, yeah.
And I put zingers on the on eBay.
Yeah.
So I lost my best employee over that.
Zingers?
Twinkies.
Oh, Twinkies. Yeah.
I used to sell Twinkies. I used to buy them at Sam's Club, and we sold them for like $1 a piece. And the night that they announced the closing, and they were going for $5, $10 each on eBay, I took the box first thing in the morning, put it back behind the counter, put it off to the side, said, "Oh man, I'm going to keep these because when I will be a Twinkie millionaire." And I went down to the warehouse portion of our facility, came back, and the entire box of Twinkies was sitting on the counter empty. And he decided to put them back off of my desk and onto the counter because everybody wanted a Twinkie that morning. And he sold every one of the Twinkies for $1 a piece. And I did not let him live that down for the rest of that day, and he quit the next day. "You're being too mean to me."
Wow.
Why did you take something off of my desk?
Yeah.
So we have a cookie repacking factory here.
Oh.
So where they take big cookies, not the big cookies, but the packaging is huge, and they put them in the small two cookie package or 4 cookie package. That's a job. It's a factory right here. Well, Oreos did a collab with Supreme, and they had Supreme Oreos at that factory.
Wow.
And those fuckers, $250 for a 4-pack.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I saw somebody posted on IG today where they found a Supreme Zippo at a garage sale.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alex did post that eBay link. So if you do want to bid on that Milky Way, now is the time. It's going to be closing here, I think, in an hour. Get part of history with the only one-on-one Milky Way.
What is the Beyond Wednesdays?
Beyond
YS?
Wednesdays, BWDSY. What I write on it?
Yeah, I don't know.
BWDYS.
Yeah, Beyond
That's
Wednesdays.
the dumbest acronym for something that's just
Yeah,
BW.
but the dumbest raised $3.25 on a 25-cent Milky Way bar. So
As he's asking everybody to go bid on it, he's calling you all
Yeah,
stupid.
hell yeah.
let's go bid on it. Let's go.
Using my name without my permission.
Let's get $5. And then when you get it, you can do what that guy did with the banana. They paid whatever, $28 million for.
Well, before we go, I've had a couple people reach out to me and ask. They can't find the group, the Industry of Comics Facebook group. So I don't know if there's something we got to do.
We also have to shout out. I just sent you a message there.
Let's see. Industry.
So Lewis Smalls Jr. passed away. Really good convention guy. Did a lot of work. Was a real, old timer on the circuit. Everybody knew him, and he passed away today.
Oh, that's sad. So Facebook.com/Industry of Comics does not come up. So what is the name of the page?
Here,
That's how I searched it out.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to send it to you right now.
That's a search, not like I try to type it directly in.
Yeah, do it. Just go up to the little magnifying glass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it should be right there. It pops right up.
Do you have a link for it that you can put in the...
Yeah, I'm going to send it to you right now.
Okay. In the Industry of Comics chat.
Yep.
It's a group, so that's another thing.
All right, here we go.
Yep.
If there's the link in the live chat, you guys, I'm gonna send it to the people that asked.
And then both Dennis and Brian, you're admins now. You just have to accept it. So
awesome.
And could you guys invite my business page to you?
There we go.
Because for whatever reason, I can't invite my business page.
Yeah.
That being said, you guys, thanks for hanging out with us tonight over here on the House of Stein. We'll be back tomorrow night with another episode right here on the House of Stein. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming on the Beyond Wednesdays next week, and we'll see you guys there. Much love. Episode 90 coming next Tuesday. Adios.
Awesome.